It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Great to have you in studio with us today. Two guests today, Rose Berner and Barbara Luttrell with Mental Health Coalition Verde Valley in studio. Welcome.
Thank you.
Both of you.
Thank you.
Rose just to my right and Barbara just across from me. A couple of phone numbers. One phone number, we're going to be talking about a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis hotline at 634-2236. We'll talk more about that as we get along. And then mentalhealthcoalition.org is a good website for more information as well. We should probably jump right into it, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Sure. What is Mental Health Coalition Verde Valley? Let's start right there.
Okay. The Mental Health Coalition Verde Valley was formed in September 2013. There was a statewide conversation about mental illness in Arizona and what the issues were. And we participated here in this area at Yavapai College. And at the end of that, the group that was there, many of them wanted to continue on and work on these issues. And so the coalition was formed. And we really have three areas that we work on. We work on education to raise the level of awareness about mental health issues. The other area that we work on is advocacy, because it's important for us to know what's going on at the state level, as well as in the intersection of criminal justice and mental health. And so we have an opportunity there to advocate for change. And the third area is community services and resources. And one of the things that we did as a coalition the very first year was published a 32-page guide of resources in Sedona, the Verde Valley, including some Prescott and Flagstaff, and that's available on our website as well. So the coalition is a group of volunteers, professionals in the medical business, as well as representatives from all areas that touch on mental health. And we're very excited about the work that's being done.
Now, before the show started, I asked you, is there more mental illness or is it just more awareness of it? And what was the answer to that question?
I think it's a combination. People certainly are talking more about it nowadays. It's becoming a little more open, and more people are willing to talk about it, especially when the media, celebrities themselves are coming out and talking about their own mental issues, so that helps the general population as well. You're seeing more films and books and more awareness. It's slowly getting there, but it's about time, really, because it's been in the shadows for so many years.
I think maybe some of the media too is not so shed any good light on mental illness either. Some of the suspects and stuff that are taken into custody. So I feel like that kind of outweighs it sometimes too, where maybe we're going to talk about the stigma of mental illness, that maybe that's not helping it too much.
Right. The media, on the other hand, there are many shows and even movies that portray people with schizophrenia or other mental illnesses as being violent, and that's not usually the case. Usually people with mental illness are the victims of crime themselves, more so than the other way around.
Yeah. Stigma. Should we talk about stigma?
Yes.
I think that's probably going to take up a lot of the show right now too, is the stigma.
And that's actually the theme of our week this week. As you know, the Mental Health Coalition declared May 11 through 16 as Mental Health Awareness Week this week. And I think this is Mental Health Awareness Month, I believe, nationally.
Yes, it is, nationally.
But we wanted to designate this week so that we could plan events around it. We have 12 events, and our theme is Stronger Than Stigma. And the goal of the week is to raise the level of conversation and around the issue of stigma so that we can begin to break it down, because as Carmen Griffin, who was one of our speakers yesterday, said, the most important thing we can do to reduce stigma is talk about mental illness, because once people understand it and are not as afraid of it, then you begin to wear down the barriers related to stigma.
That's tough though.
Oh yes, yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, in terms of increasing the conversation, that's one of our goals this week. And every every event that we have is being followed by a community conversation. And so we ask questions. People can share if they're identifying with a particular topic that we've been talking about. Like yesterday, the movies that we showed related to a family dealing with schizophrenia. The mother was living with schizophrenia. And afterwards, people shared their own experiences with the medical profession, with diagnoses, with treatment, with the social situation. And so that conversation, raising that level, I mean, if we can reach 500 people this week with these events, and I'm sure it'll be much more than that, but if we can reach these people, they become the core group that is out there talking about these issues and reducing the fear related to it, and therefore reducing the stigma.
Schizophrenia, that is... I had a friend who had schizophrenia, and I still don't understand completely about it, but he drove a cab, and that was the only job he could do because it kept him with people for very short periods of time. What is schizophrenia? Let's just hit one right now. Educate us on one of them. What is schizophrenia?
Oh, okay. Well, schizophrenia, it's a mental illness that it includes a lot of different symptoms. They call them positive and negative symptoms. The positive symptoms are considered to be hallucinations and delusions. There's nothing positive about those, but that's the way that's the term they use. And then the negative symptoms are more the cognitive problems that people have. They have problems with cognition, lack of affect. It includes a lot of different symptoms.
It's treatable, though.
Yes, it's treatable. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, there are a lot of antipsychotic medications out there. There are also treating people with other alternative therapies, too. We have cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or dialectical behavioral therapy. They're using now more of those type of therapies for a lot of the mental illnesses. So medication alone is not as effective as having all the others too. You can do meditation, you can do yoga, you can, if you have community support or family support, that helps a lot for people who have a mental illness.
And that part right there is all part this.
Yes.
That we're doing right here, the coalition, right?
That's
getting
what
the community involved, families involved, neighbors involved.
Right. We're trying to get community awareness more than anything, and getting families to talk about it, to talk about mental illnesses. And
instead of, you've got a mental illness, I need to stay away from you. It's like, you've got a mental illness, I need to understand what that is, and is there anything I can do
and how can I help?
Or steer you in the right direction?
And over the course of this week, there are 12 events, and they run the gamut from things going on with youth. I mean, tonight we have a presentation at West Sedona School. Scott Roderick from Spectrum Healthcare is going to be talking about mental health issues and children. And tonight at Bingus, we're doing Bullied to Silence, which is a film about bullying, which has all kinds of angles related to mental illness. And by the time we get to Friday, we have a panel on Friday that is dealing with all the alternative methods that people are using related to mental illness. On Wednesday, tomorrow, we have Dr. Stephen Dingle is coming up from Phoenix, and he is the head of the Behavioral Health Services for the Arizona Department of Health Services. He's going to be talking about spirituality as a dimension of wellness, based on the whole idea that you don't just treat the person and the illness that you see, but you consider the whole person and where they are on their spiritual journey, what they see as their purpose in life, what is their passion in life, because someone who has a purpose and a passion can be directed, and the medical part can be taken care of, and the rest can be nurtured to improve their wellness.
Gotcha. Let's take a break already.
Okay.
Can you believe it?
Yes.
Rose, can you believe it? Rose Berner and Barbara Luttrell in studio today. We're talking about Mental Health Coalition Verde Valley. There's a bunch of different events taking place this week, and we're going to talk more about those. Website, mentalhealthcoalition.org, NAMI.org. We'll tell you more about that after the break. And then 24-hour crisis hotline, 634-2236. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
This is why you get by on 4 hours sleep. Why you took a second job. This is why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. And spend hours juggling the bills. This is why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Now more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert today.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Countywide. Barbara Luttrell and Rose Berner in studio today. We're talking about Mental Health Coalition Verde Valley. Do you guys need more members?
Yes.
Always, right?
Yeah, we can always use more members. Yes, volunteers, members.
Okay. Mentalhealthcoalition.org. I'm sure there's information about how they could do that. Is that on there? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then NAMI.org, NAMI.org. That's not going to be showing up on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. What is NAMI.org?
Okay, NAMI is the national organization, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We have chapters all over the country, all 50 states. In Arizona alone, we have about 10 affiliates of NAMI. In Sedona, it's NAMI Sedona. And what we do is we provide support and education and advocacy to families of people who have a mental illness, and also for people themselves who are living with a mental illness. So we have support groups, family support groups, twice a month in Sedona on the first and third Friday of each month. And we just now restarted the NAMI Connection support group meetings, which are for people who themselves are in recovery from a mental illness. So we're going to have those once a week, twice in Cottonwood and twice in Sedona. So support is a big part of recovery. And
would you say that's one of the lacking parts right now, that we don't have enough of that? Because we were talking about how Sheriff Masher now has got the program at the jail where they're receiving mental health care in the jail. And then we have a story in the news right now today, and I think I used it this morning, where 5 of the people that have gone through that and have come out of the county jail are now having jobs, and they seem to be functioning well in society, which before...
That would be the ideal.
That's the idea. But then it's that coming out, now I'm back in society, who do I go to get this support and tell me, okay, this is kind of what you need to do to keep on track?
Well, at NAMI, we do provide people with resources, too. We give them information. We've got a lot of resources. And as a matter of fact, the Mental Health Coalition website, as well as the NAMI Sedona website, we include a link to the Mental Health Resources Guide, which is a 30-plus page document that includes local resources. and all types, mostly related to mental health, of course.
Local's the key word there, too,
Yeah.
local. Okay, now you've got a bunch of events. We should mention that we're doing the show here on May 12th, Tuesday, May 12th.
Yep, here we are.
I'm right about that, right? It's
Yes,
May 12th?
we are
Okay.
here.
Okay, it's May 12th. So the things we're talking about are taking place this week, and this is the Coalition's Mental Health Awareness Week.
Right.
Okay, nationally, the whole month is Mental
Yes.
Health Awareness Month.
Correct.
Okay, but we've got a week set aside that we have specific things going on. So Monday, too late, we've already done those things, but Tuesday, today, May 12th, we have something at 1:30 called Film Alive Inside. Why don't we run through these as quick as we can?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Alive Inside it's about the experiences of seniors around the country who have been revitalized through the simple experience of listening to music and its healing power, which can triumph over prescription when prescription medications fall short. So I have not seen the film. I'm going to this afternoon, and it's supposed to be wonderful. It had very good reception the last time it was shown, and it's just about the healing power of music, and I guess it does have an effect on people who probably, who are suffering from dementia or other.
Oh, I totally believe that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Memory
driving down the road,
Sure.
you can think about the music
Yeah.
you're listening to and how it
Yes.
affects you while you're driving. But that's coming up today at 1:30.
That's coming up at 1:30 at the Community Center, right.
Sedona Community Center on Melody Lane in
Right.
West Sedona.
And then this evening at 6 p.m. we have the film Bullied to Silence, which is an award-winning documentary giving voice to the bullied children, so that that will be the positive change to verbal and cyberbullying.
Oh, so this isn't so much directed about the bullier, it's the bullyee.
It covers both.
It covers both.
It covers
so
both,
okay,
yes.
gotcha.
Right.
And then cyberbullying too. That
Right,
you know, where you're
that's
bullied
very
over the
big now.
computer, I guess. So
Yes.
yeah, we've had
Well,
we've seen
and when
some
you think
suicides
about,
from that.
exactly, you just
Yeah.
said it. When you
Right.
think about children and what they're driven to in a situation like this, and the whole question of suicide.
Right.
Right.
And these were local filmmakers who made that film from
Sometimes,
Sedona.
you know, kids aren't very good at just saying, I could care less what you think of me.
No.
I am who I am, and I'm happy with who I am.
Exactly,
So yeah,
exactly.
that's
Right.
okay.
And that will be at the Mingos Union High School.
Okay,
and
that's
that's
at
at
Mingos High
6
School.
p.m. tonight.
Okay.
And at the same time, almost concurrently, we're having a program called for mental illness in children, and that's going to be presented by Scott Raderick, who's the Chief Clinical Officer at Spectrum Healthcare. And that's more targeted to parents and teachers. So he can talk about, what are the most prevalent mental health problems for
children
children
today.
today. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be at the West Sedona School Library on Posse Ground right here in Sedona.
Okay.
And that's at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, so 3 things going on today. One at 1:30,
Yes.
one at 6, one at 6:30.
Yes.
This is all posted on your website. So
Oh,
if they want to find out more,
Wednesday.
mentalhealthcoalition.org is the website to go to for that. Okay, tomorrow on the 13th, treating the whole person with purpose and passion.
Yes, that's the one where we have Dr. Stephen Dingle is coming up from Phoenix, and he is the head of the Behavioral Services Unit for the Arizona Department of Health Services. And he does a presentation that is called Spirituality as a Dimension of Wellness. And I heard him give this presentation about a year ago, and I was really impressed because I don't often hear spirituality and mental illness in the same discussion. But this is all about understanding where people are on their spiritual journey as far as their feeling about purpose and passion in life. And so that's an excellent presentation taking place at the Jewish community of Sedona in the Verde Valley over on 179 and Meadowlark Drive tomorrow at noon. And it's a brown bag lunch. So we invite people to bring their lunch. We will have the presentation and conversation. We'll provide all the beverages.
Gotcha.
And so that's going to be from 12 to 2 tomorrow.
Okay, we need to take one more break. We got to take another break, and we'll come back and we'll try to get
Okay.
through a few more of these.
Okay.
But if
Yes,
not,
we're almost there.
Yeah, if there's quite a few more things going on between now and it goes through Saturday.
Yes.
So mentalhealthcoalition.org is the website you can go to. NAMI.org as well, a good resource. Rose Ferner and Barbara Luttrell with Mental Health Coalition Verde Valley in studio. I'm Paul David, back in just a couple minutes.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
So don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a couple minutes left of the program. Real quick correction, it's Mental Health Coalition VB.org. If you're listening on the radio, on the TV, they've seen the mistake I've been making the whole time. So it's Mental Health Coalition VB VerdeValley.org, and that's the website you want to go to, and it's going to have this list on there. We want to make sure we talk about a couple more of these. Film Alive Inside is Wednesday at 1:30 on May 13th. Mm-hmm. What's that one about?
That one is a repeat of what we're doing Tuesday in Sedona, but we're doing it in Cottonwood at the Community Center.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's about seniors and music and memory loss.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And then Alternating Healing for Mental Health is coming up on Friday.
Yes.
I know you wanted to make sure we mentioned
Friday,
that one.
9 to 12, Alternative Healing. We have as you see, Dr. Oliver Cooperman, Pam Pappas, and Shauna Bowen, who is she's a rock star, and she became a therapist.
Okay.
And so she incorporates a lot of very interesting things in her presentation. And we also that day have a wonderful dance performance by Pesh Galbavy. And we have a veteran, Tom Putz, who is going to be talking. He does poetry, and he's absolutely fabulous. And that'll be at Church of the Red Rocks on Friday, 9 a.m. to noon.
And Friday at 7 p.m. film Running from Crazy.
Yes.
I know you really want to make sure you
that
have
is
one.
wonderful.
Yes.
It's going to be at the Old Town Center for the Arts, and it's the Mariel Hemingway and her story about trying to break the cycle of suicide in the Hemingway family.
I had no idea.
And how, something like 15 suicides in the Hemingway family. And, one of them, I remember Margot Hemingway was a gorgeous model, and that was when I was actually working in advertising, and I remember her. And all of a sudden, she was gone.
That's her sister, Mariel's sister. And Ernest Hemingway himself suffered from depression.
Right. The Basis of Compassion for Mental Illness.
Yes,
Saturday.
That's going to be a community gathering, and we're going to take a portrait and to honor those we have lost to mental illness. And we'd like to have as many people as possible show up for this event. We're going to take a photograph, and we're going to post that on our website, and it will be publicized. So that will be the conclusion to the whole Mental Health Week. And I just want to emphasize one more time, all these events are free.
Free.
Thank you.
Show up and get educated.
Thank you to all our
sponsors.
sponsors.
Thank you to sponsors, exactly.
Yes.
And the Saturday one is from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock at Tlaquepaque.
At Tlaquepaque in the Arts and Crafts Village there. Okay, and again, all this is listed on Mental Health Coalition, VB.org. Real quick, we've got a little bit of time left. There's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis line. Give you 60 seconds to talk about that real quick. 634-2236 is the number. So
that is the crisis line it actually is used by Spectrum Healthcare. And that's where anybody can call 24/7. There are counselors or somebody is manning that line, and you will refer to somebody who can help you.
Do I have to have a mental illness or think I have a mental illness? Or can I be just a concerned brother or family member that says, I think something's happening here?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's what this
any
is for
crisis,
as well.
Any mental health crisis.
Very good. You guys did great. Did just great. Rose Berner and Barbara Luttrell with Mental Health Coalition, Verde Valley. It's mentalhealthcoalitionvb.org. That number again is 634-2236. That's the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis line. I'm Paul David. That's today's Countywide. We'll talk to you again next time.